Okay, so there's a reason why I talk about fear so much because it's probably our biggest limitation. It's our biggest obstacle that we have to overcome to truly become a free being, to truly step into our sovereignty. And until we transcend fear, we are going to be living at a fraction of our potential. Fear has the biggest grip on us today. Imagine what you would do if you had no fear, if you were not worried about anything, if you weren't overthinking anything and you just stepped into your full power. You'll stop questioning yourself, questioning your truth, and you'll start to stand on your truth. You show up differently when you do that. There's a difference between questioning yourself and knowing yourself, standing on your authenticity, standing on your light, and really not being afraid to shine that onto the world. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, society discourages us to do that. First, I'm going to explain what fear is, what kind of subconscious fears hold us back, how we're being manipulated, and then I'm going to describe how you can overcome fear the moment you feel it and act as your highest, most limitless self without any blockages. All we got to do is understand what fear actually is, because once we do, we will so much more easily be able to break the chains, free ourselves from the illusion that it is, and stop being controlled by it. What is fear? That's what it is: an unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, real or imagined. The perception of it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are valid times to fear. In some instances, intuitive impulses of fear can actually keep us alive and actually signify real danger. But unfortunately, today, this human capacity has been hijacked. We go around fearing a lot more shit than we really should. Instead, we run towards safety. We don't try anything new. We don't actually get out there in the world and experience it because we are told at a subconscious level, right? Media, news, which we will talk about, that the world out there is a scary place, or that that other country needs to be feared, that other race, that other political party. Again, like I've talked about, division and separation are pushed on us, and I don't really know why, but I feel like it's because I think it's one big test. Maybe that's how I'm going to frame it. It's one big test. We have been so conditioned to fear the unknown. It is also kind of valid to fear the unknown because going into a situation that we can't control, that we don't really know what's going to happen, it is very uncomfortable. But avoiding situations like that will keep us trapped. So just take an inventory. The things that you really fear, are they real or are you imagining them? Are you creating them? And are you adding to your self created mental box? And also, fear may be the root of all these other issues. This graphic really lays it out well. I know some people, like even in my family, where I can clearly see that their fear, maybe it's a fear of showing up authentically, a fear of being themselves, a fear of speaking out, a fear of displaying their truth or shining their light, the fear of getting sick, that is the root that creates all these different things. Of course, fear can lead to chronic stress because we're always in fight or flight mode. At a subconscious level, stress at work, our mind is associating that with danger. Really, we're not in danger at all. Our lives aren't at stake. But this is the mental state a lot of us are living in. That can manifest into trauma, anxiety disorders, and it can go even further. And fear may be the reason that you numb yourself with alcohol, drugs, food, all these different things. Fear may even be, and it probably is, honestly, it probably is the reason for your depression. Life has no color for you anymore because you are so stuck. You are stuck in the past. You have pushed your true self down for so long that you're like, what's the point? And so, this is why I believe fear is used as a tool for control. And really, I think underlying most of our fears is the subconscious fear of death. The whole thing surrounding death how we deal with it as a culture, I don't really know if I believe in it. I don't really think it's helpful. There are some cultures who celebrate death, who celebrate passing on. Death is a part. Obviously, it's a part of life. It's a part of everything. You can't have life without death. And it happens in many different ways than just losing our lives. When we shift identities, the old version of us dies. When we evolve our beliefs, getting into new relationships, renewing our body, even the cycles of nature, the seasons. It's a constant dying and rebirth. Without death, evolution would not be possible. But we are so scared of death that it holds us back in so many different ways. The fear of death really limits our potential and keeps us from embracing life. When trying something new, our brain wants to keep us alive, and the unknown is a risk. It's a threat to our existence. Once you make peace with dying, once you accept that you will die someday, that is the moment that you free yourself from it. The secret of life is to die before you die and find that there is no death. Our soul doesn't die. I think it just moves on. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Accepting death really helps us to not give a shit anymore and just go out there and experience anything instead of wasting our energy worrying about it, even if it is at a subconscious level, right? Because this is subconscious. You gotta make peace with dying. Next time you feel any fear come up, I want you to ask yourself, will I die if I take this risk? That will help you to reframe the fear and recognize when you are creating unnecessary limitations for yourself that hold back your evolution and choose to act despite fear. Another big one that I think holds us back is the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is a psychological phenomenon that makes us believe people care more about our flaws and mistakes than they actually do. And I'm not even going to spend too much time on this because I've talked about it so much, but people don't give a shit, all right? Our ego kind of gets in the way and distorts our self perception, making our flaws, it magnifies our flaws, it magnifies our mistakes, and we don't really notice how much we're actually growing. A lot of it is stemming from the fear of being judged. We think we're at the center of other people's attention, but no one's focused on you. They're only focused on themselves. So why would you chase approval from people that don't really give a shit anyway? Why would you mold yourself to someone else's expectations when they don't care? Why would you lose yourself because of what you think someone else wants? And also, if someone judges you, who cares? Again, it's not a life or death situation. Those people don't actually know you. You know you. We are insecure really because our ego is telling us that we're more important than we are. We're not that important. We're not at the center of other people's attention. True security comes from accepting uncertainty, being cool in the unknown, trusting your ability to handle whatever life throws at you, and not having to control it, not having to have power over it, being okay if things don't go exactly how you planned. Being okay with looking stupid and laughing at yourself in front of other people. Caring about what other people think is going to make you go your whole entire life acting out a fraction of yourself. And then you're going to look back at the end of your life and you're going to be like, why did I even care? Yeah, you might as well just realize that now. All right. And of course, we got to talk about this. Not going to spend too much time on it because by now, everyone's catching on to it. Everyone already knows. I love the graphic, the little newspaper at the left. This is why you should be angry. Click here to feel righteous about it. Oh, look at this nice thing. That agrees with your worldview perfectly. Why you should be afraid. Click here to learn more about something terrifying that will statistically never happen to anyone you know. Oh my gosh. Just the text on the news channels, the tone of voice that the newscasters used, I think it is scientifically designed to put us in fight or flight. It's speaking directly to our subconscious and telling our subconscious, hey, there's a danger, even if we're just sitting on the damn couch and we're looking at something that's going to happen across the world. That screen that we watch, the screen that you're watching right now, you're watching me talk on it. That screen is so powerful because we watch whatever's on it and our body is responding to it like we're actually there. It doesn't know the difference between what we're seeing on a screen and what we're actually living. That's why movies can have such a powerful impact on our subconscious because you're watching a movie, you're living it, as if you were there. Your body is producing stress hormones. And like, I don't know, for some reason, the freaking weather is used as a fear tactic. I don't know why. I think it's the stupidest thing ever, but trying to scare people to go outside. I don't understand it at all. And the super sneaky thing that, again, I think people are catching on to is how fear is used in marketing. Fear based marketing, a marketing tactic that utilizes consumers' fears and anxiety to influence and motivate them to buy or avoid certain products. I think it should be illegal, but again, companies may think if they're stupid enough to fall for it, then so be it. Don't be stupid enough to fall for it. Don't go out and buy a skin cream because a commercial convinced you that you got a skin issue or a commercial convinced you that you're ugly so you got to go buy new clothes. Like, nah, don't fall for it. All right? It's time to transcend all this BS. And related to that, whether it's because of the media that we consume, the subconscious programming that we interface with, but also maybe things that have happened in our childhood, other experiences that we've had, that somehow we get into a scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset, I feel like, arises from the belief that you are separate from other people, or you're separate from your environment, you're separate from nature, and you're separate from the universe. You're not separate, you are one with it. You are made of the same stuff. Your energy interacts with your environment way more than you realize. And what's crazy, I talked about it in my manifesting, I think it was called like manifesting using the laws of physics or something like that, a couple videos ago. I talked about how abundance is nature's natural state. It gets amazing results. Like the sun. The sun is up there shining like crazy, but it's not trying so hard. It's not worrying about, oh, what if there's not enough hydrogen and helium to burn to go around? It is accomplishing huge feats with the least amount of effort possible. It's called the law of least action. It's a physics term. That's what nature does. It accomplishes the most by taking the least action. Once you're trapped in the cycle of scarcity, it is tough to break out, but the rewiring has to happen. And I get it, we gotta live. I totally get it. I totally get that it can be a struggle sometimes. We gotta pay rent. We have to survive. But we are here to do a lot more. Everyone has a purpose. Your purpose is not to be stuck doing something that you hate, to be stuck selling your soul for money, for a job, or whatever else that sucks the absolute energy out of you. You have to trust that things will work out in your favor. These are beliefs that you can install. It takes time for them to become a habit, but once they do, you're changing how you look at reality. And we all know once you change how you look at something, it literally changes. That's the power of our perception. I had to install some mindsets like things will always work out for me at the right time. The universe has my back. Life or the universe, God, whatever, will give me everything I need at exactly the right time. I will get money at the right time. I will be rewarded if I keep taking action. There is enough success and resources to go around for everyone. I don't need to hoard every dollar that I get. I need to put it out there because it's a cycle. It'll cycle back to me. It'll get the energy flowing, right? The currency flowing, the currents. I am grateful for everything that I have and actually noting down everything that's great about your life, everything that's great about you, your strengths, testing your long standing opinions about reality. These are the things we have to do to break out of the scarcity trap. So, the way to overcome fear is to changing how we respond to it in the moment we feel it, instead of just reacting to it automatically, shrinking, running away from it. Honestly, this is the way that we rewire any kind of behavior that we want. Changing our response in the moment. The bottom right there, it is your choice to act, not react. That is where our freedom lies. So you get a stimulus, something happens in your environment that causes the fear. Maybe it's your friends are going cliff jumping, but you think about all the dangers, you've never done it before. And instead of saying no right away, give yourself a little bit of breathing room before you make the decision. Feel the fear, do it anyway, right? And just say yes to doing what you fear despite that uncomfortable feeling. The more you attack your fears and expand your comfort zone, like I feel like you can get to a point where you're essentially relaxed in every single circumstance. How powerful would you be if you were always relaxed? How spontaneous would you be? How worry free would you be? Really start to rewire how you see fear. Instead of it being something that you have to run away from, to stay safe from, start saying in your head, okay, fear equals expansion, fear equals evolution. I used to always tell myself, fear equals do it. Go towards the fear, not away from the fear. We got to start attacking our fears. And you don't got to attack them all at once. I love this quote. If every day you break one limitation, then no matter how many you have, one day you will be liberated. You will be free from suffering. You can reach, I think, enlightenment, bliss, ecstasy, all those great emotions. And remember that your limits are self created, right? They're created to keep you safe, they're created to keep you in that box, but you can choose not to give them power anymore. What's crazy too is I want you to think about this for a sec. What would you be afraid of if you didn't have a past? You wouldn't know what to be afraid of. You come into this life as a kid. Your mind is a blank slate. You haven't experienced anything and you just go out and try things and you're not even thinking, you're just being. You have nothing to be afraid of. But now as adults, there are so many things imprinted on our brain from the past. So many things that have hurt us, that have scared us, that have done us wrong, and anything that we are afraid of is giving that thing more energy. That is us making it important in some regard, giving it more power and energy. If we didn't care about it, we would not be giving it any energy. If we didn't even know what to be afraid of, we would not be giving it energy. I've learned that fear is simply an illusion based on past experiences that we project into the present and onto the future. So things that have happened in the past that keep us stuck in the present. And I've talked about the fight or flight already in this presentation, but this is the key right here. So we feel the stimulus of fear. We have chosen to take some time before we respond, not react automatically. And while we are taking that pause, you'll notice when you're afraid, your heart is going to be beating, your muscles are going to be tense, and all these things in your body are going to start happening because of the stress response. The sympathetic nervous system is priming, and it's priming you to fight danger or keep yourself safe. But you know that a lot of our fears are really just keeping us trapped, keeping us in our comfort zone. So we have to first control our body or control our physiology. So consciously slow your breathing down. Consciously relax every muscle in your body. Loosen it up. That's what I always tell my athletes when they get nervous. Take a breath, loosen it all up. Remember, it's not a life or death situation. When you slow your body down, your mind is going to follow. Over time, we can control our internal state and we can create an unshakable state of peace no matter where we go. Your brain or your brain waves, that's how they measure brain activity, can go from very chaotic, the beta state, and you can start to slow things down. Instead of a chaotic mind, you can have a coherent and balanced mind. And we start to enter deeper level brainwave states like alpha, right? Slower moving. When you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, that's when you can fully recover. That's when your energy will no longer be leached. Fear, we're worrying about something that's going to happen, leeches all of our energy. We're wasting our valuable energy on something that has not even happened yet. It's not necessary. Take control of it by controlling your body first, and your mind will follow. Practice doing this throughout the day, anytime you feel even a little bit of stress. Over time, you're going to become a whole different human, I promise you. Now, the final thing, we're talking about alchemy here. Using negative emotions as fuel, as power to catapult in the opposite direction. Again, as we talked about, fear is energy. It's not the most constructive energy, but we can use it. So, this is how you can use fear as motivation. I want you to create a list of the most terrible, unfavorable scenarios that could happen in your life. Going broke, dying, not accomplishing a goal. And then I want you to visualize yourself reflecting on your life when it's at the end. What achievements would you regret not pursuing? What personal growth or self realization would you regret not attaining? The fear of regret drives me. I do not want to regret anything because I've felt it a little bit before and it is the worst freaking emotion ever because you can't really do anything about it. The thought of me wasting my time and regretting not doing something later on drives me to do shit. So then from there, you can determine specific steps to take or goals to set today that can guide you away from those fears. So hopefully this video allowed you to bash the barriers of your mind. Hopefully you will not be a victim to fear anymore and you can step into your full sovereignty. We need more humans stepping into that and not falling for BS that is trying to keep us in lower states. We're not falling for it anymore. All right. So hopefully that helped. Give me some comments. If you like this video, check out my other videos. The support is very much appreciated. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think. See ya.